What if the only real way to make someone regret losing you is to stop caring whether they do? What if the more you let go, the more they begin to feel the space you once filled? See, the truth is, most people get this wrong. They think chasing, pleading, and over-explaining will somehow change someone's mind. They believe that by proving their worth, they'll win them back. But all that really does is reinforce a dynamic where the other person holds the power, where they become the prize, and you become the one seeking approval. But the moment you truly stop, everything changes. Think about it. When was the last time you deeply missed someone? It wasn't when they were constantly available or always reaching out. It was when they became quiet, when their absence became noticeable, when their silence made you wonder. That is the moment you started to question what they really meant to you. And that's the moment regret begins to grow. See, when someone walks away, they often expect you to fall apart. They anticipate tears, desperation, begging. Why? Because that's the pattern they've seen. But when you break that pattern, when you respond with peace, with grace, with silence that disrupts everything they thought they knew about you, that calm absence becomes louder than any words you could speak. Because silence isn't weakness. Silence is power. And absence creates reflection. Reflection creates doubt. And doubt is the beginning of regret. They may have been confident when they left, confident you'd always be there, that they could return whenever they chose. But the moment you stop feeding that illusion, the moment you no longer act like they're central to your self-worth, that confidence begins to crack. That's when everything begins to shift, not because you manipulated, but because you healed, because you let go, because you stepped into your own self-respect. So here's the real choice. Will you let heartbreak define you? Will you spend your energy chasing someone who has already walked away? Or will you rise, centered in your own value, and become someone they never expected? Someone who doesn't need to prove anything. Someone who is grounded, composed, and whole. Because here's the truth. The most powerful position in any relationship is not the one who clings or begs, it's the one who is least attached to the outcome. Emotional independence isn't cold, it's clarity. And people don't cherish what's always available. They value what they have to earn. So if you're ready to reclaim your strength, not for revenge, but for your own peace, then make this your turning point. Say it with me. I control my emotions. They do not control me. Because today isn't about making someone else regret their choices. It's about no longer needing them to. There is a moment, subtle, almost invisible, when she begins to lose control. And it doesn't start with an argument or a dramatic goodbye. It starts with your absence. Because absence creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value. That's not just emotional theory, it's human behavior. Why do you think luxury brands limit their inventory? Why does a Rolex command more attention than a regular watch? It's not about function. It's about rarity. Not everyone can have it. And that same principle applies to you. When you're always available, constantly replying, liking, watching, commenting, you dilute your value. You become common, predictable. But the moment you step back, the moment you stop showing up, everything changes. She starts to feel your absence not as silence, but as loss. That's why the very first step in regaining your power is simple. Complete silence. No texts, no calls, no passive engagement, no lurking on stories, no reacting to posts. You disappear not to punish, but to reclaim. Because for the first time, she's forced to experience a reality where you no longer exist in her orbit. And even if she puts on a show, smiling, posting, laughing, it's in the quiet moments, when no one's watching, that it hits her. She'll check her phone, expecting your name. She'll glance at her notifications, anticipating your presence. And every day your silence continues. A question starts to echo in her mind. Did I lose him for good? That's when regret begins to grow. So if you're tired of being taken for granted, if you're ready to let your silence speak louder than your pain, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, Turn on notifications and comment below. My silence speaks louder than words. Now, let's talk about the second principle. Indifference is the ultimate power move. It's not anger. It's not sadness. It's not even silence by itself. What truly shifts the dynamic is indifference. When you no longer react, when you're no longer emotionally hooked, everything turns. Because emotions are leverage. And if she sees that you still react, she knows she still has an impact. If you lash out, if you try to make her jealous, if you overanalyze everything she posts, you're still invested. And in any emotional dynamic, the one who is more invested always holds less power. But when you give her nothing, no reactions, no explanations, no emotional breadcrumbs, that's when the dynamic flips. She expected emotion. She expected attention. She expected you to chase. But now, she's the one caught off guard. Because the moment she no longer feels your emotional pull, she starts questioning hers. Here's a hard truth. People stop valuing what they believe they can always have. Certainty kills desire. But when you make someone question that certainty when they no longer know where they stand, that's when curiosity, reflection, and yes, regret begin. So indifference isn't cruelty. It's clarity. It's emotional discipline. And when you show her she no longer holds emotional real estate in your mind, she starts to wonder why. She'll test you. She'll post something subtle. She'll like your photo. She might even message something vague just to see if you'll react. But every time you respond, you undo your progress. So don't take the bait. Don't flinch. Let her feel the weight of your emotional neutrality. If you're ready to stop reacting and start reclaiming your inner strength, comment below. I owe nothing to the past. And finally, number 3, you were never truly chasing her. You were chasing validation. This is the part that stings, but it's also the key to freedom. Because if we're honest, it wasn't just her you were trying to get back. It was the feeling she gave you, the attention, the sense of being seen, the illusion that someone finally recognized your worth. But that worth, it was always yours. You just didn't believe it yet. Most people don't chase love. They chase being chosen. They chase the image of themselves reflected in someone else's eyes. But when your self-worth depends on another person validating it, you're never truly safe because that validation can disappear the moment they do. So if you're ready to stop outsourcing your self-worth, if you're ready to rebuild your confidence from the inside out, this is your moment. Let this journey be the start of something deeper, not about getting someone back, but about getting yourself back. Because when your peace no longer depends on who stays or who leaves, that's when you become truly powerful. Was it ever really her that you wanted? Or was it the way she made you feel? Was it the thrill of being chosen? The rush of being desired? The validation of knowing that someone wanted you? Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They think they're heartbroken over a person, but what they're really mourning is how that person made them feel about themselves. And that is the trap. Because if you don't see it clearly, you'll keep chasing. Not because she's unique, not because she's irreplaceable, but because you've become addicted to the feeling of being enough only when someone else says you are . And here's the brutal truth. If you had truly loved her in a healthy way, you would have loved yourself first. But instead, you gave her the power to define your value. You let her approval shape your self-worth. And when she pulled away, you didn't just lose her, you lost the reflection of yourself that you'd come to depend on. That ends today. You were never really chasing her. You were chasing the illusion that you needed her in order to feel whole. But what happens when you stop chasing? What happens when you wake up and realize that the only validation you ever needed was your own? That's when everything changes. Because now, instead of searching for approval outside of you, you begin building it from within. You stop seeing her as the source of your happiness, and you start seeing yourself as the foundation of your own worth. That shift, that moment of clarity, is the moment you become untouchable. Here's something most people never say out loud. Women are drawn to men who don't need them. Not because they want to feel disposable, but because self-sufficiency is magnetic. Confidence that doesn't rely on constant attention is rare. And a man who is already whole, who doesn't need her to feel powerful, that's the man who lingers in her mind. So stop chasing the high of being chosen. Stop outsourcing your self-esteem. Because when you realize that no one else can complete you, that you were already enough, the cycle ends. And here's the twist. The moment you stop needing her validation is the moment she begins to wonder why she ever had it in the first place. If you're ready to stop giving your power away, if you're ready to become your own source of strength, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I validate myself. No one else has that power. Now, number 4, the Stoic mindset. Detach or be destroyed. Heartbreak gives you 2 choices. You can either detach and rise, or stay attached and self-destruct. There is no middle ground. Asterisk. You can allow this pain to consume you, to control your thoughts, to weaken your confidence, to make you smaller than you were. Or you can take that pain and use it, not to get revenge, but to grow, to evolve, to become the man you were always meant to be. This is the essence of Stoicism. It's not about denying emotions, it's about mastering them. It's about one core truth. You do not control what others do. You only control how you respond. Most people lose themselves trying to understand what went wrong. They obsess over every message, every glance, every silence. But that's the path of destruction, because every moment you give to her story is a moment stolen from your own. A Stoic man does not chase. He does not beg. He does not wait for closure. He understands one thing. Closure is an inside job. She left. That's her choice. And her choice is not your responsibility. What is your responsibility? Your actions, your boundaries, your focus, your discipline. And here's the irony. When you stop needing answers, when you let go of needing her to regret, needing her to return, that's when the power dynamic flips. Not because you're playing a game, but because you've finally taken your power back. Detachment is freedom. Freedom from seeking validation. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from emotional dependence. Detachment doesn't mean you don't feel, it means you don't get controlled by what you feel. So what do you do now? You stop checking. You stop waiting. You stop rehearsing conversations in your head. You cut the cord to her life. Because the past is a story that no longer needs a sequel. And then you shift. You show up for yourself. You train your body. You develop your mind. You surround yourself with people and purpose that push you forward. You create a life so full, so aligned, that whether she returns or disappears forever, it no longer matters. Because by the time she looks back, you'll be too far ahead. And that's when it truly hits her, not when you sent a message, not when you begged for closure, but when she realizes she no longer affects you. When she sees that you didn't just survive without her, but thrived, everything changes. That's the shift. That's the moment the energy flips. Because now, instead of wondering if you're okay, she starts wondering how you became so okay without her. If you're done suffering, if you're ready to take full control of your mind and your energy, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my focus, and my focus is on me. Number 5, the reverse chase. Make her feel your absence. Right now, she thinks she's in control. She believes you're sitting in silence, waiting for a sign, holding your breath for her to come back. But what happens when that script flips? What happens when she starts to feel the absence she expected you to feel? Most people think they have to do something loud or dramatic to get attention. But the truth, the most powerful move is doing absolutely nothing. When you pull away completely, silently, without fanfare, her own mind becomes her greatest enemy. It starts with curiosity. At first, she assumes you'll reach out. She expects a message, a reaction, a sign that you're still holding on. But days pass, then weeks, and that silence starts to echo. Curiosity turns into doubt. Was I wrong about him? Did I misread the situation? Why isn't he reacting like I thought he would? And here's where many people fail. Because she'll test you. She'll drop subtle signals like on an old photo, a story post meant for your eyes, a casual hey, have you been message, not to reconnect, but to confirm she still has access. If you respond even a little, she gets her answer. The chase resets. She knows you were waiting, and everything you built in silence unravels. But if you stay grounded, if you stay quiet, if you respond with nothing, that's when the fear sets in. Because now, she doesn't just miss you. She questions if she ever had you in the first place. And when someone starts chasing their own lost power, they often confuse it with missing you. That's how the reverse chase begins, not because you manipulated her, but because you finally stopped handing over your energy. So what do? You keep moving forward. You don't check her page. You don't respond to bait. You live your life like she's no longer the center of it. Because she isn't. And when she realizes she can't pull you back with breadcrumbs, that you're not just gone, but gone on purpose, that's when the real impact lands. If you're ready to stop chasing and start being chased, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the prize, and I do not chase. Number 6. How to kill her curiosity. The silent mystery. Curiosity is powerful, and silence, when used with intention, is the greatest amplifier of that power. Right now, she expects something from you. A post, a reaction, some proof that you're hurting, or that you still care. And that expectation, that's her comfort zone. But what happens when you give her nothing? No cryptic quotes, no attention-seeking selfies, no comments, likes, or story views. Just silence. That's when curiosity starts to evolve into obsession. See, most people make it too easy. They post things for the other person to see, trying to look strong or unbothered, but still hoping for a response. But when you're truly silent, when you live like they're not even watching, that's what creates mystery. Now she's left wondering. She checks your profile. Nothing. Asks mutual friends. No updates. Waits for something, anything to show she still matters to you. But all she finds is absence. And the human mind hates an unfinished story. So she starts filling in the blanks herself. Did he move on? Did he replace me? Was I not that important? And the moment she starts asking herself those questions, that's when she feels the loss. Not because you said anything, but because you didn't. That's why silence is more powerful than speaking. And mystery is more effective than attention. When you become unpredictable, when she can't read you, when she can't get any reaction at all, you become the question she can't answer, the chapter she never finished. And it eats at her. So stay silent. Stay private. Stay mysterious. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Let your life speak for itself, without a single word. Because eventually, the silence becomes too loud to ignore. Number 7. Emotional mastery. Never let them see you sweat. Moment you let your emotions control you, you lose. It doesn't matter how far you've come or how strong you think you are. If she sees you crack even just once, she knows she still holds power over you. And that's a line you can never cross. Here's the truth. She will test you. She'll do things to see if you react. Maybe a post meant to get under your skin, a random message designed to bait you, or pretending she's moved on just to spark a response. But you stay unshaken. Emotional control is lethal. When people expect a reaction and get none, it rattles them. Suddenly, they feel uncertain. They start wondering what's really going on in your mind. That's when the power shifts. Who truly holds power, the one who reacts impulsively, or the one who stays calm and chooses their response? From this moment forward, operate with absolute emotional mastery. No anger, no frustration, no sadness. If she texts, Take your time or don't respond at all. If she tries to make you jealous. Act like you didn't notice. If she provokes, refuse to engage. Because the second she realizes nothing you do shakes you, that's when regret starts to grow. Now she is facing a man who is untouchable. A man who no longer needs her. If you're ready to become immune to mind games and emotions controlling you, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My emotions serve me. I do not serve them. Number 8. The cold shoulder. How to handle seeing her again day. You'll see her again. Maybe by accident. Maybe she wants to cross your path. This is your moment. A chance to show without words that you're not the man she left behind. Most guys mess this up. They overcompensate, acting too happy, too flashy, trying to prove something. Nope. That only shows you still care. And she'll see right through it. Instead, give her the cold shoulder. Not bitter or fake, just neutral. Indifferent. Here's how. If she looks your way, acknowledge her with calm neutrality. No excitement. No hostility. Just an indifferent glance, as if she's just another face in the crowd. If she tries to talk, keep it short and unemotional. No deep conversations. No reminiscing. No giving her the satisfaction of knowing you still care. If she asks how you're doing, answer simply, I'm good. No explanations. No showing off. The less you say, the more power you hold. You're making her feel the weight of your absence, not by avoiding her, but by being emotionally distant. You're showing her she no longer has access to the man she once knew. And that stings the most. Instead of feeling like she can come back whenever she wants, she starts to wonder if she ever really mattered. She feels replaced not by another woman, but by a version of you she can't reach. That's the real win. Not revenge, not jealousy. Just being so unbothered, so untouchable, that she realizes she lost something she'll never get back. If you're done giving your energy to the past, ready to make her feel the true weight of losing you, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am out of reach. Number 9. The rebirth. Becoming a man she can't reach anymore eventually. You stop caring about her, not because you're pretending or forcing it, but because you've outgrown her. This is the rebirth. You become someone she can no longer access. A version of yourself so evolved, focused, and unbothered that even if she wanted back, she couldn't. Most men waste time trying to win the breakup, trying to make her regret, trying to prove something. That's small thinking. The real win, when she becomes irrelevant. Because here's the truth. She was never the prize. You were. And the fact she couldn't see it, that's her lost. So what does rebirth look like? You get so focused on your goals that thoughts of her don't cross your mind. You level up physically, mentally, financially, so much that if she saw you now, she wouldn't recognize the man she left behind. You stop seeking validation from anyone because your self-worth comes from within. And here's the irony. The moment you stop wanting her regret, that's the moment she actually does. Because she's not dealing with the guy she left behind. She's dealing with a man she can never get back. That's what truly haunts people, not losing someone, but losing someone who became untouchable. And you don't even care anymore. Because the person you've become and the life you've built, it's too good to waste on the past. Number 10. The final lesson. You never needed her anyway. Here's the truth you didn't want to face at the start of this journey. You never needed her. Not then. Not now. Not ever. You thought you did. You convinced yourself she completed you, that she was the missing piece. But that was a lie you told yourself because you hadn't yet realized your own power. Look at where you are now. Look how far you've come. The pain that once felt unbearable, it's gone. The need for her validation, it no longer exists. The attachment that kept you trapped, shattered. And the best part? You did this. You built yourself back up. You turned heartbreak into fuel. You transformed into a man who doesn't just survive without her. He thrives. Now, Think about her. Do you honestly believe she's grown like you have, evolved the way you did? Nope. Because people who walk away thinking they've won really do the work to improve. They stay stuck in their patterns. They assume the world revolves around them. But you broke free. You stopped playing the game Dot, and now you're untouchable. Dot. She might come back. She might test the waters. She might reach out, hoping to find a version of you she can control. But there won't be one. That man is gone. Now she's just another name in your past, one that no longer carries weight. This is the final lesson. You never needed her. She was just a chapter, not the story. Dot. And now you write your own story. If you've made it this far, if you fully embraced your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I was always enough. This is the Stoic blessing. Stay strong. Stay untouchable.